Oh, hi. I'm feeling very much like I don't want to be in front of a camera, so I'm sitting in front of a camera. Of all the fears that can plague you, the fear of being seen or visible can be one of the most insidious because it can stop you from showing up, accessing opportunities, putting yourself out there, which in turn allows you to make friends, meet people who are going to change your life the best way possible. Being afraid of being seen might seem like a fear of other people, but actually it's you who's going to be restricted from growing. It's me. Talking about me. And we're too fabulous for that. So we're not going to let that happen. Instead, let's use this favourites video to talk about how I have overcome my own fears, of being seen, and how you can too. Generally speaking, when we're afraid of being too visible, what we're really afraid of is just not being live. We worry about being rejected or seen as a failure. What if no one likes my announcement message in the group chat? Was my tone off? I can tell they've seen it, but no one's yet replied. Are they making me wait because I forgot to reply to Rebecca for 3 weeks that one time? Oh my god, this is it. I've ruined our group. That fear is limiting your impact. You're doing great things. You've got a great message. You're a lovely person, but no one will ever know if you don't let them see you. The fear of being seen tends to affect different types of people differently, and some more than others. Namely, introverts who, due to their very nature, aren't that comfortable often being seen. Often. Why did I have to say that like the Queen? Often. Or being around large groups of people. Did you know your ADHD meds work differently when you have your period? Yeah, it's true. Mine don't work so well. I get very distracted. Very empathetic people. Or empaths, although I think that word is now ruined. Empaths may have a fear of showing up and taking up too much space, stepping on other people's toes, making them feel bad, but also they may fear just taking on everyone else's emotions around them. Yeah, I get that one. Gotta be a sponge. Why do I have to soak up everyone else's feelings all the time? Just unnecessary. Got enough problems dealing with my own. And highly sensitive people who feel that it may be just too much sensory overload. Because also, if you're putting yourself out there in the world, you're getting things back. Do I find it a little bit annoying that people have to comment on what I wear when I walk down the street? Yes. Will it change how I dress? No, because this is just how I look. But regardless, there are always ways to conquer your fears of visibility and show up confidently. So, author James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, probably the most popular guide to building and breaking habits there is, brings up 2 people quitting cigarettes. Both were asked whether they would like a cigarette, and the first one says, I'm trying to quit, but the other says, I'm not a smoker. And it's the second person who's the most successful at quitting. Ta-da! Yeah, that's it. We've worked it out. If we're going to change, we need to start at the identity level. I am, or I'm not, and we need to act as if it's fully true. So what I'm saying is, if you ever get randomly anxious about talking to people and being seen by them and saying the wrong thing, become a YouTuber. Maybe. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Am I wearing white and an all-white background now? Yes. Are you going to have to just pretend I have Morgan Freeman's voice and I'm God now? Yes. The most important thing when it comes to feeling uncomfortable with a bit of your person, an inner bit of your person, is firstly isolating what on earth that is, and then secondly deciding whether you wish to change that bit or just be okay with it. So when I was younger, I had a friend who had moved from a different school and told us when she was at that school had a completely different personality, and she hadn't really liked her personality very much because she'd always struggled to hold conversations with people, ask questions in class, have any kind of social interaction, and she'd never been able to be friends with the people she wanted to be friends with. The people that she thought were just really nice people. For some reason, whenever she wanted to talk to them and they came over and tried to talk to her, she'd just freeze up. So when she changed schools, she decided that what she was going to do was build herself a new personality. So she spent the summer deciding which parts of herself she liked, which parts she didn't, and just working on changing it. It can be difficult to isolate exactly what the problem is that you're feeling inside. This is generally my issue. I tend to just be like, feel squirmy and bad inside today. Unclear as to why. Woke up just feeling, don't know why. Have no desire to show my face to the world. Can't think of anything worse than being on camera. That is my job. Sometimes my job is to give a speech to people. I don't really have any kind of stage fright. Generally, I'm quite fine. We'll stand on a stage in front of, the most people I've ever spoken in front of was 5,000, will stand on a stage in front of 5,000 people, give a talk. Totally fine. Other days I'm like, I can't go and talk to 5 people. That would be wild. No. Still have to do it though. And the thing is, it was really good to work out why. Just to sit there, find out exactly what the problem is. What is that squirmy, wormy, weird little feeling that sat there in your belly? Decide what to do about it. How does this relate to my favourites of the month? Great question. Because one of my favourites of the month is I Kissed a Girl. If you haven't heard about it, it's a new BBC show. It's a dating show. It's like Love Island, but better because it's only women who want to date women. Brilliant. Truly brilliant. So brilliant. Also, their conversations include things like, why is L at the start of LGBTQ? What does STEM mean? Not the science way, obviously. Can someone who is always femme for femme actually like mask people? Yes, of course you can. Yes. Don't put yourself in a box. Like who you like. Just whoever, whatever. Go for it. And for me, one of the most interesting things about this show is finding things that make me squirm and going, oh no, oh, And I do this through this girl on it called Amy. Initially did not like Amy. Obviously a big fan of the Georgia and Cara dynamic. I mean, she's a footballer. That's neither here nor there. So Amy, Amy's introduction was mainly, I'm a posh girl trying not to be a posh girl, and I've dealt with too many of those in my time. Can't be doing with that. But the thing is, Amy was a revelation in the end. Because the thing that makes me squirm about Amy is that she's just really weird. And it's really lovely. And I think to start with, whether it was the producers of the show, whether it was the editing, whether it was me, whether it was Amy herself, Amy got put into the box of being, oh, she's going to be that annoying posh girl that thinks she's cool. But really, all along, she was the weirdo inside. And the thing that makes me squirm so much of the time in real life is when I do feel incredibly weird and I don't give myself the space to do that. To let my weirdness just be. Sit. Do weird stuff. Or I'm being too hard on myself about it. And I think what it was I felt bad that Amy seems really happy in her weird self. And maybe I should be kinder to myself. It's fine that I'm always gonna stick out from all the other mums at school. There's no point in trying to be normal if that's just not you. Otherwise you're just making yourself uncomfortable. And then you'll always feel uncomfortable and everyone knows you're uncomfortable in the first place. Identify your patterns so you can challenge your negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. You can do this. Being truly seen in any capacity is an act of vulnerability. It can be scary. It can feel slightly terrifying, worse than scary. What if you say the wrong thing? What if no one likes you? Well, you're not even going to be given the chance to make that decision either way if they never get to see you. What if they think you're wonderful and amazing, which you are? It's uncomfortable at first, but then gradually opening up to others can just lead to deeper connections because you're sharing about things you actually care about. I genuinely care about this wisteria growing in my garden. I've always wanted a house that has wisteria growing up it, probably because I have an abject fear of feeling ungrounded and I tie that to old houses. There's a lot of my generational family stories and trauma involved, and then they lost everything, including the house. But also, I have a disability, so we renovated this house. It's actually only like 70 years old and it has underfloor heating and it's accessible for me, and where is this going? But for a reason my therapist has yet to help me work through, I still freak out about the permanence of my home. So I'm growing wisteria on it. And look, it's actually happening. See, now you know more about my traumas. You could maybe start small though, when you're meeting people. Just tell them you really like climbing plants or something. When you fear being seen or being visible, it might be because maybe you worry that you'll come off as being inauthentic. You'll just talk too much. Can't relate. You'll worry that you won't look or sound good enough. You'll just get into a cycle of self-doubt over and over and over. But friend, Just because these thoughts arise doesn't mean that they're true. Our next point, investigate yourself. Your curiosities, your interests. Who are you as a person? Let's delve in deep. Learn who you are. And then love that person, because why would you change you? You're amazing just the way you are. What am I tying this into? This massive package that I got sent. Because it says proudly pro you, and also I just really enjoy it. So this is a gifting thing that I got sent by NYX. I'm so sorry. I don't actually know if it's NYX or NYX because I read subtitles. I'm deaf. And the subtitles say NYX. But do people say that? Or are they saying NYX? You know, I've never actually lined that up with lip reading. I should probably have done that. Not the point. Anyway, yes, this is coming back around. Giving attention and time to your own interests, passions, curiosities, the things that you really like, is essentially a cheat code, not only to like, but a cheat code to feeling comfortable with being seen. You're learning to love yourself, and thus learning why you feel that other people should love you too and should want to see you. Why would you hold yourself back from them seeing you? You're amazing. Break down your fears. Allow yourself to be seen more fully. How does this relate? Because it's makeup. Okay, it's makeup. And not is it only just makeup. It's not just any makeup, okay? It's pride makeup. It's colourful and it's fun. It stays on your face, even if you go to a pride party / pride parade. In Brighton, we have a whole weekend of pride. It's very long. It's always the first weekend of August. It's always either incredibly hot, like a horrendous heat wave, or raining. These are the two options that you get. So obviously this is my special interest. Might not be yours. Just saying, find yourself a special interest. Learn to love it. Lean into your interest. I find it fascinating to talk to people about the things they find interesting. Even if I don't find the thing interesting, I just really love their passion about it. That was potentially a silly thing to do. It's not any easier to hold them up, but I think it is slightly easier for you to see the colours. Who knew I needed a brown eyeliner until it arrived? You know what these are great for, other than just having colourful eyeliner, if that's what you're into? Drawing on yourself. Did I immediately draw a butterfly on my child's skin with these eyeliners? Yes. Disclaimer, I'm not advising that you do that. I don't know. Don't take advice from me. It did come off with a makeup wipe, it's fine. He loved it. Colourful eyeliners available. I'm going to have so much fun. Now, I'm not going to tell you that if your interest is vintage fashion and you want to start dressing in a vintage style, that should you go out and buy an entire outfit tomorrow and put it on and walk down the street, that you're going to feel super comfortable, super fabulous, super amazing. I mean, you will feel fabulous and amazing. But I'm not going to tell you that you'll feel incredibly comfortable in it immediately, because that probably won't be the case. It takes time. It always takes time when you make little changes, little differences. But over time, it becomes more and more and more comfortable, much like the use of colour, use of colourful eyeliner, say, wearing a dress the colour of Pepto-Bismol, to the point where now, if I am dressed in a way that is, I would consider underdressed, I feel deeply uncomfortable. If a small child doesn't stare at me with the light in their eyes of having stumbled across a children's entertainer / fairy, I failed that day. And that's what I get my confidence from. It's a weird one, but we all find our confidence in different ways. Maybe you enjoy dressing as a dominatrix. I don't know. I can't speak for you. If you do, all power to you. The important thing is that it's important to prioritize self-care, make time for the things that you love in order to develop that confidence within you, and slowly the fear of being seen ebbs away as you realise how incredibly awesome you are, probably wearing some excellently colourful eyeliner. I've just realised I did that whole bit with a massive glob of mascara on my eyelid, but it's fine, it's fine. We're not even going to redo it because we're going through the fear of being seen. And since we're talking about being heard, thank you so much to everyone who left great comments on my last video about LGBTQ+ tourism, particularly relating to Israel's pinkwashing specifically. I really appreciate those of you who kept your words very respectful, as countless innocent civilians, adults and children are caught in the crossfire. I recently shared the Creators for Palestine campaign in my community tab, but I also wanted to boost it here. The fundraiser is supporting key charities who provide humanitarian aid for civilians in Gaza, including the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund and the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, which we've actually talked about in the channel before. I've added the link to the campaign in the description below. Please do take a look and think about supporting if you are able. We're back in Rupert's Playroom. Now, the good news and the bad news is that the fear of visibility, vulnerability, it never really goes away. I still get that feeling sometimes, clearly, obviously, today, of being seen. I still, especially when it comes to anything disability related, have the sense of being out there and being watched and, oh goodness, everyone can see me. But the good news is that in many, many ways, it is just a muscle. And the more you strengthen it by showing up and being willing to be seen, the more your confidence grows. And one of the best ways I've found to grow it is through looking at images of not only what I would like to be, but what I would like to see in the world. Much like with small children, we're trying to present them not necessarily with the world as it has faults and flaws, but the world as we would like it to be. We can curate information, we can curate the world around ourselves and around our children that is full of how we would like our world to look, the equality we would like to see in the world. I want my children, my child currently, to feel confident that he will fit in no matter what. I'm sure you've heard me talking about the Osborne sticker dolly dressing books. Rupert is a huge fan of sticker books, but a very specific kind of sticker book. It has to be a sticker book that involves sticker dolly dressing. I say it like that. You just have to say it very quickly. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a series, okay? You just say it quickly. Basically, they're little characters. They're little people. And then they have clothes. You stick their clothes on. He's really into clothes and people and stories. He does not care for any sticker book that involves, I don't know, cars, trucks, even animals. I've tried. We tried. Doesn't matter. Has to be people. Has to be humans. He likes history. That's fun. He enjoys dressing people from different periods of history. Good luck finding ones that don't involve a lot of violence and death. My goodness. Why do they think that all of children want to know about violence and death in history? They don't. Many children would like to know about the nice quiet times in history. Not just the violence and death, please. And if confidence is learnable, then I am doing my best to teach him that he can embrace his true self as someone who is very, very interested in people, humans, stories, their little social interactions, all of those kinds of things. However, one issue we found is that he has noticed a lack of boys in most of the books. Most of these books that involve any kind of human being you get to dress, it's just a series of girls. And girls are very fun. Girls in these books have a lot of different outfits to wear, but it would be nice to have a smattering of boys. And I've noticed that in the most recent books that they've been putting out, there are boys. Get a few boys here and there. So this is a lovely development. And not only that, the inclusion within the books is also something that I really love to see, specifically when it comes to disability inclusion, even when it's camping in the middle of a field. Not something I'd choose for myself, but hey, yeah, I did just poke myself in the ear with that. I don't think these books are for children either. If you also enjoy dressing people, like to have a little relax, there are all those adult colouring books now. Why not adult sticker books? Doesn't even need to say adult on it. Remember, it's okay to feel scared or uncomfortable, but the rewards for being seen are just so much more worth it. When people ask me what my skincare routine is, I generally say, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Sure, it has its down points, but at least it gives me soft and plump skin. It also makes my jaw really weak on one side, so my face isn't symmetrical structurally, and I can't cover that up with makeup. Maybe you've never even noticed before now, but hey, now you're staring at it. Also, my jaw dislocates a lot. That's definitely more annoying. That is definitely more annoying. But sometimes people do comment on it, and I know It's my face. Thanks, you don't need to tell me. So there you go, that's me overcoming the fear of being seen by telling you the one thing I hate most about my face. You're welcome. I may be taking this too literally. Speaking of which, I was slightly kidding about the skincare routine. I do genuinely love some really great products. I've recently started using Medicate's facial cleanser and it's amazing. Along with these reusable bamboo pads, they are brilliant at getting my face actually clean and seriously decreasing any blackhead action. I am, however, the biggest supporter of always being kind and compassionate to yourself. As someone who struggles with chronic fatigue, I often have to say nah to the whole skincare routine. Just grab a face wipe and do it in bed. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should be gentle to your brain. You should be kind to your emotions. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to feel uncomfortable. And it's pretty normal to have days where you just don't want to be seen. So you make a YouTube video, crush down that feeling in your belly. And it's kind of worked. Hey friends, we're all a work in progress. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. And I've added links to everything I've mentioned in the description. A special thank you to the members of the Kellgren-Fozard Club who make this channel possible. If you would like to join the club, have your comments stand out and have access to a huge backlog of monthly behind the scenes videos, as well as gifts like birthday shoutouts and a welcome pack, then click the join button below. I'll see you soon.